Hello, 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 and welcome to the Little Oil Podcast. If you are new here, welcome. The Little Oil is all about and inspired by 2 Kings 4, where the widow was left with nothing. She was destitute, that means left with zero, nada, when her husband died. And she took the little oil that she had, turned it into legacy wealth because she was willing to step out on faith. And this podcast is all about you taking the little that you have and you turning it into legacy wealth. Now, I'm always going to create ways for you to succeed in life and in business. And the topic that we are talking about today is so vital. It's so important. We have to have this conversation. And the conversation is, what should you do before you quit? Like before you quit your job. I am so very serious about this topic because people are suffering financially. Our economy is at a state of panic. We are going into a new legislation. We're coming out of an old legislation, but you are ultimately responsible for your own destiny by and under the leading of God. And so whatever decision you make on a daily basis literally decides what your life looks like. It literally decides what your life looks like. And leaving a job is a huge decision. And that is why I'm taking my time today and giving you everything you need to be able to make a solid decision. Like, you need to be able to make a decision that is not going to be detrimental. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges along the way. You will. And that's okay. That's okay. As long as you know where you are going, where you are headed in your decisions, you should be good. But you have to have the information, the knowledge, the wisdom to make the right decision. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, sis, before you quit your job, let's talk. Let's talk. If you have been dreaming about leaving your 9-to-5 to become a full-time entrepreneur, this message, this podcast today is for you. I left my teaching career 3 times. 3 times. Before I made it stick, finally, in 2023. Left for different reasons every time, but in 2023, I left for good. And since then, God has, let me not start with I have. Since then, God has blessed me and led me to build a thriving community for boss lady women of faith, just like yourself. A thriving coaching program that I actually started back in 2008. So my coaching is still alive, thriving, and well. And also launched 2 products and relaunched the podcast that you're listening today. So it is possible, but there are some things that you need to consider before you make the decision. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I'm here for you, sis. I got you, sis. I got you. You are not alone. You are not by yourself. It's all good because we're going to get into everything you need to do, to know, to make the right decision moving forward. All right. So let's get into it. So I've been planning to do this video for a while, and it's on the list. It was in the pipeline for a minute. But I ran across this video on YouTube, and the YouTuber, the lady with the YouTube channel, began to talk about how frustrated and devastated she was with leaving her job. She had already left. She was contemplating, did I make the right decision? Things were not falling into place. And she was explaining all the things, all the woes and the sadness and the disappointment. She was just really just venting to her audience, sharing with her audience her journey and the devastation of actually leaving that job. And I was listening to it and I was thinking, Lord Jesus, do I have work to do? because I'm called to women of faith to help them grow from just an idea to become a successful entrepreneur so that they can build the legacy of doing what they love. I'm called to women to do that, to lead them in that way. And so watching this video, it pulled me. I was like, okay, yes. And even when I do feel like it's not working, people are not listening, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, it's videos like this that help me and remind me, Angela, you got a job to do. It's not just about being a content creator. It's about the purpose, the passion, the profit opportunity in the market. Yes, it is a trifecta of the origin of business, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But what I want to do is make sure that I give you everything you need so that when you walk away from this podcast, you have actionable steps that you can take. You know exactly what to do so that your transition, whether you leave or stay, so that your transition can be solid, no matter what that brings. And I'm not saying it's going to be roses and lilies, whatever you decide. It's challenging. Life is challenging no matter what you decide. But you can get through it. You can do it when you have a solid plan, when you have a solid purpose, when you know where you're going. Amen, somebody. So whether you are live or watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. It is my pure joy to serve you today. So this video that sparked me getting on and talking about what to do before you quit your job today, I want to talk about this video and what happened when I watched the video. Welcome again to the Little Oil Podcast. I'm Angela Tessino, the host, and I used to be a teacher. And I loved being a teacher. Like my teaching journey, OMG. The picture or graphic you see on the left is me having quality time with my students. I was teaching first grade this year. I've taught first, second, fourth, and sixth. Second is my absolute favorite. But if you're watching on the live, this is what a typical day looks like for me loving on my students, because I understand that education and teaching, the success of it really only boils down to getting and grabbing the heart of the person that you're teaching. And then this picture is the year I taught fifth grade as well. This is the year I taught fifth grade, and my students made me eat sushi. And this is my classroom, my community here down on the right. And my teaching journey was amazing. I've known I will be a teacher since third grade, but I also knew I had to leave. And what I'm going to do today is take you through exactly what you need to do before you quit your job. Like if you know somebody that's contemplating quitting, share this video with them. Like it first. We haven't gotten too deep, but if you like this topic and if you see that I'm going somewhere that might help you, go ahead and like it, but also share it with somebody that you know. Transitioning from leaving teaching, leaving my career, leaving my job, to now having a thriving business, a thriving community. It was all God, but I followed specific steps that I'm going to share with you today that I did when I left. Not the first time, not the second time, but the third time. Actually, I did do some of these things the second time. I did. Not the first time though. Not the first time. And I will tell you all about it. Exactly what I did, exactly what can help you when you make your decision, whether you choose to quit your job or commit to your job. Either way, you'll know what to do. It's a hard stop at 9:45 because I have to pop in to my Cura Circle community that I was telling you about, because I'm teaching a live class in there on how to become a six-figure coach. It is not too late if you want to join in on that 5-week class, because all of the content, all of the replays, all the recaps are there for you, and you can pick up where we are now. You can join it now, even before we go live in the class at 10 o'clock a.m. sharp. You can still get in there. You do not want to miss it. I literally take you through in real time how to build your six-figure coaching business. It is one way for you to definitely grow wealth. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Right now, we're literally talking about what you should do if you want to quit your job. Sis, do not put in that resignation yet until you listen to, contemplate, and perhaps follow what I'm going to share with you today. It will work. It can work, but there's some things you have to consider first. I want to give you 5 vital steps that you should take before you quit your job. 5 vital steps. And I came up with these vital steps when I was planning my video on this several months ago. This has been in the pipeline for a while, but it was when I watched this video about the lady who was literally pouring her heart out about what happened to her when she quit her job. It literally brought me to a state of, you're on the right track, Angela. People need you. People are going through. People are suffering with this. I don't want to be here on this job. I really want to be working in my purpose scenario. And what I'm doing literally is going to help you every step of the way. As a matter of fact, in a little bit, I'll share with you how to take the first 2 steps in my little oil party. Like, the little oil party is all about finishing, completing, before you leave the party, the 2 steps you need to take to walk out into full-time entrepreneurship. But let me take you through the comment that I read that sparked me to stop everything and get this particular podcast topic done. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. Yeah, let me get to it. Let me get into it. Let me take you through exactly what she said. Let me take you through exactly what she said. Let me go to it. Today I'm using Upwork to hire a WordPress developer. I'm going to try using Upwork. Let me go to it. I want to read the comment just like she said it. Lord, I thank you. Let me read the comments just like she said it. This is how I feel currently, she says. I'm completely burned out from my job and want to quit so bad, but I don't have any savings. My mental health is at an all-time low, and I don't feel like myself at all. Currently trying to figure out how to leave and still be able to pay my bills. This is what she said, rocked me to my very core, because I know what I did works, and I know that I just have to continue being diligent about getting the word out and sharing with my sisters exactly what to do. And that is exactly what I'm going to share with you today. This was my comment to her. This was my comment to her. I said and replied, and I quote, "I see you, sis. You are not alone. First things first, your headspace is a normal reaction, but not the right action to achieve what you want to see happen. The job you have can be temporary as long as you have a plan to leave." That's the plan I'm going to give you today. Once you get an exit plan in place, then the job won't be so taxing. It won't be so devastating to be there on your mental space, because you know that you're headed out. You know you have a plan to go. You're okay and you got this. You just need a plan. I left teaching 3 times, and the last time I left was for good, because I finally launched what I shared with you today, hoping for your success on your journey. This was my reply to her, and it's also my reply to you if you are considering or contemplating leaving your job. Just don't leave yet. Don't put in the pink slip Don't put in the resignation just yet. I'm going to give you 5 things you need to do first, and then you can make your decision from there. Leave in the comments the conversation that you need to start with anybody. You can use me about what you want to do and what you need to do, and I will reply to you and give you my thoughts on what you need to do. We are 15 minutes in. We have about 30 minutes left before I need to pop off and head into the live class that I'm teaching inside my Cura Circle, how to become a 6-figure coach. And if you want to do that and you are on your job, you can still do it even before you leave. But here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to consider, rather, before you quit your job. 5 steps. Step 1, clarify your vision and your calling first. I call the origin of business, the origin of being a content creator, the 3 P's of business. And you are in business or want to be in business full-time, leaving your job to be in business full-time for 3 very easy, succinct reasons. Either you have a passion about something, or it is your purpose, or you see a profit opportunity in the market. It's one of the P's. It's either your passion, your purpose, or a profit opportunity in the market. It could be the trifecta. And for instance, in my case, it's the trifecta for me. I left my job of career, calling, if you will, of being a teacher for all 3 reasons. I have a purpose, and I'm called to women of faith to help them grow legacy wealth and live an effective and meaningful life that brings glory to God. That's my purpose. I'm passionate about business. So passionate. Sometimes it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours gone in the day before I look up and say, oh my God, I've been working on my business this long. And then there's a profit opportunity in the market. Online education is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I have the trifecta, and you may have that trifecta as well. Either way, the first thing you need to do is to clarify what that is. If you're going to leave your job, especially a job that you have been working in for a while and invested in for a while, you need to first clarify your vision and your calling. You have to have a reason why you are leaving. I hate this job is not going to be good enough. It's not going to cut it, because you need to have a solid foundation of what you are doing in your business, in your creator business, if you're going to truly give it a go, if you're going to truly walk in it, because it is not for the faint heart. And I don't know who told you that being a content creator is easy. That's not necessarily true. It is challenging. It is a lot of work, but it's good work. It's a work that I wouldn't trade. The 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hours that I put in a day, I wouldn't trade it, because I love it. And you got to love it if you're going to do it. And it needs to fuel or feed into either a passion, a purpose, or a profit opportunity that you see in the market. For me, my purpose, my passion, and the profit opportunity are all in place. And so when I left, I was good to go on step number 1. I clarified my vision and my calling. Do that first. If you love parenting and everything about parenting, and you have gone through all the challenges and the downfalls and the ebbs and flows of parenting, and were able to successfully raise successful children, and you want to teach people how to do that who are struggling with parenting, that is a purpose and a passion, and definitely a profit opportunity in the market, because parents are struggling these days, especially new parents, millennial parents. So if that is you, whatever it is your calling is, clarify it first. Find where you fit in the 3 P's. And then number 2, create a financial transition plan. I'm going to spend a good bit of time on this part, because you cannot leave, no matter how frustrated you are in your job, until you have a good financial transition plan. So this is what that looks like. In a nutshell, take everything that you know you need to live a quality life and list it with a dollar amount. Exactly how much does it take for you to live your life? You need that number. That is your big number that you have to consider, right? So what's the best way to do that? Get your bank statement and your credit card statement and see what you're spending on any given month. Whatever that number is, that's what you need to live your life. Then take that number and compare it to exactly what you bring in, exactly what your income is. Now, if what you need to live your life, if that number is greater than what you are actually bringing in, then you have to automatically make some adjustments. Do that first. Because what you need to live your life and what you are actually bringing in as far as income, it needs to not just be equal. What you are bringing in as income needs to exceed what you need to live your life. That's automatic. That's just good budgeting. That's just good money management. So if what you are bringing in is more than what you actually need to live your life, then that's a problem right there. You're not in a position at all to leave. And I say that respectfully. And I know you might be thinking, well, Angela, how is it possible for somebody to live their life continually and they don't even have, and their check, what their income is not even what they need to live their life? That's called debt. That's called credit card debt, loan debt, borrowing debt. They're illusioned about what they can actually, the life that they can actually afford. Right? Because they're borrowing their way through it. Stop the bleeding on the borrowing. Stop the bleeding on the borrowing. Your financial plan looks like this. Once you have your two numbers, what you actually bring in, what you actually need to live your life, then decide if you leave, how you're going to sustain that. And if you're saying, I'm just going to start a business, that is inaccurate. I will get to it in just a bit on the platform, on step 3, on the platform that you're going to build before you leave. But if you're saying, I'm going to quit my job and go start a business, don't do that. Do not do that. Okay, you're going to take exactly what you need to live your life. I forgot which hands I was using, y'all. We're going to go left hand, what you bring in, right hand, what you need. Okay, I think that's where I was. If that's where I was, let me know in the comments. All right, so you're going to take exactly how much you need in my right hand, take exactly how much you need, and then to live your life. That includes light bill, mortgage or rent, car payments, food, gas, clothes, even a little bit of leisure here and there. Take exactly what you need and then exactly what you make and see where you are. Now, you have a couple of options here when you create your financial transition plan. You can either minimize what you need to live your life to make your expenses lower so that if you decide to transition, you don't need the job you have. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you make $5,000 a month and your expenses are $4,000 a month. Your transition plan could include, okay, I want to bring my expenses down to $3,000 a month to compensate what happens when I leave. But when you leave, you still have to make sure you understand and have in place how you're going to come up with the $3,000. Does that make sense? If you make $5,000 and it takes $4,000 for you to live right now, and you minimize and take off $1,000 of those expenses, if you want to leave, you still got to come up with the $3,000. All right. So you have a few options here. You can say, okay, I'm going to leave this job and I know I can Uber for $3,000, or I can nanny for $3,000, or I can tutor for $3,000, or I can work at Walmart for $3,000. You're not working at Walmart or nannying or driving on Uber because it's your new career choice. You are transitioning out the job that you desperately want to leave and positioning yourself to do step 3, and that is build a platform. Build a platform called a creator business. Build a platform called a business to build your legacy wealth, and take care of your need. Now, let me back up here and be very, very clear. You can start building your platform while you are working your job. I did it, and that's what most people do. You can build your platform after you leave your job, as long as you are taking care of that $3,000 that you determined that you needed. Right? Because it's going to be so much easier to come up with that $3,000 on a transition job like Ubering or nannying or tutoring or whatever you create to take care of your expenses. It's going to be much easier to build your creator business, build your platform while you're working a transition job than it is to build your platform or your creative business while you're working a career, because careers are demanding. Can you do it while you build a career? Yes, I've done it. Can you do it while you are working a transition job? Yes, I've done that too. The key that I'm making here is this. Once you, number one, clarify your vision and calling, and number two, create your financial transition plan, whatever you decide, number three, you need to build your platform. You need to build your creator business. And you're going to do it either while you're on your career job or your demanding job, or you're going to do it while you are on your transition job. But in step three, I want to make sure that you're very clear about this. If step three is build your platform, and you're going to either do it while you are working or after you leave, you have to understand this. There is two types of L words that I want to cover when it comes to your platform. You have your living money. That's going to be either your career job that you hate that you're staying on, or your transitional job. And you have your legacy wealth money. Your legacy wealth money will never come from your living expenses job, because you can't make a choice between, do I want to pay my light bill or do I want to put this light bill money in a trust for my children's inheritance? You're going to be in the dark. So your living money, and it doesn't even matter how much you make. I don't care how much you make. If your job pays for the living expenses that you have, and those living expenses are based on the quality of lifestyle you want, it will never be your legacy money, because you're spending it all. You're using it to live. Now, if you make a lot of money and you live a very modest life, perhaps, maybe, but you better have a really solid plan to grow it, because just putting it in a savings account won't cut it. The bank's not going to share their money with you. So either you're still going to have to create a way to increase that money. And the best ways to increase money, the best way to grow wealth is three buckets: either a business, stocks, or real estate. I choose business to start. You're apparently interested in business to start, especially if you have the trifecta, especially if the purpose, the passion, and the profit opportunity is in your purview as far as why you are going into business in the first place. So understand that no matter what you choose, your living expenses money, the job that you're working for your living, is not your legacy money. The legacy money will come from your business, because you can make multi-millions, even billions, just with that knowledge of yours. So step three is building a platform, whether you leave or whether you stay. Either way, you gotta launch that creator business. Now, here's how to do that. I want you to join my Little Oil Party. That is your very first move, because in the Little Oil Party, you are going to complete two very vital steps to launch your creative business, to build that platform. And why are you so interested in building a platform? Why do I want to build a platform? Answer: because it's going to release you. It's going to rescue you from the job you hate. And it's going to fuel your passion. It's going to fulfill your purpose. It's going to feed that purpose opportunity. That means that profit opportunity in the market. All right. So you want to fulfill your purpose. You want to fuel that passion, and you want to feed that profit opportunity in the market with your creator business. And so Click the link in the description, join the little oil party, because you're literally going to walk away with 2 steps already done. 15 minutes. I'm doing good. All right. 15 minutes. I need to pop off because I need to teach my 6-figure coach class inside of my Cura Circle community. Number 4, establish a support network. You need to surround yourself around people who get you, who understand, who are on the same path you are on, to help each other. Do not do this alone. Sis, do not jump off, leave your job, get some unfulfilling transition Uber job, and start a creative business on your own. Do not keep the job you hate and be miserable. If that's what you decide to do while you are building your creative business, don't do that alone. It is not for the faint heart. It is not to be done alone. And that is why I created the Cura Circle in the first place. It is a safe haven, a community of women just like you who are all doing the same thing, who are launching a business from just an idea and who are becoming successful online entrepreneurs, building wealth, doing what they love. I have women who are in my community that are doctors, literally physicians, bankers, women who want to help other women with parenting, women who help women with emotional eating. There are women in there doing real work, and we are synergizing. We are helping one another stay focused, stay motivated, inspired with tactical, real life steps that can actually work for their business. And so in here, it's a community. If you're on social media, if you are on Twitter or Instagram or the God forbidden TikTok, like I am not a TikTok girl, but if you're on one of those platforms and you're scrolling through trying to find how to make this work, if you're on YouTube and you stumbled upon this, trying to find out how to make your journey work, that's a good place for inspiration, and I give you that. But you need a community that gives you exactly what you need to do. You are wasting time clicking here and there and everywhere trying to see what works. I have what works inside the community, because I have inside the community what I did and what's working for me. I'm proof. And I have testimonials from women in my community that prove that the system works. The best part about my community is it acts like social, it behaves like social media, but it gives you real life actionable steps that are going to literally help you achieve your 2025 goals. So you need to establish a network of people. And then number 5, Step out on faith, step out on faith and take action, which is what the Little Oil movement is really all about. I have the Little Oil podcast that you're watching right now. I have the Little Oil party, which you need to definitely attend to see exactly what's possible for you. And I have the Little Oil jar. Don't you love this? This is what you need as your practical, real life, hands-on vision map to stay motivated, to track your progress. I created this jar for women to help them stay on track, to understand what to do. And here is how it works. And you can get the jar. I'll put the link in the description for you. There are several different steps you need to take as a content creator, as a creator business. And in the Little Oil jar kit, you get everything you need. In here are the oil drops, because the woman in 2 Kings 4, who was a widow, the prophet Elijah, when she had her serious problem of not having any money, he asked her, "What do you have in your house?" She said, "All I have is a little oil." And so that is why I'm using oil drops for your steps. You have 4 steps that you need to take. And on every oil drop, you're going to complete the step, and then you're going to put that step inside your oil drop. You're going to put that oil drop for that step inside your jar. And then you're going to take another step, and then you're going to take that step and you're going to put that oil drop inside your jar. And then you're going to complete step 3, and then you're going to complete step 4. See how your jar is starting to fill up? He said, I want you to take the oil that you have in your house, fill your jars up with the oil, and then go and sell it. And the Bible says that not only did she settle her debt, but she was able to live off the rest. Live off the rest is code word for legacy wealth. So get the oil jar. You're going to love it. But that's not all. Once you start filling up your jar with the steps, you're going to get these stars. And these stars signify, they represent customers. And your goal is to get 5 customers, just 5. That's all I want you to do. 5 customers following the steps. So every time you get a customer, add your customer. Every time you get a customer, add your customer. See where I'm going with this? Add your customer, right? And you need 5 customers in your little oil jar. This is going to help you stay on track. This is going to help you build that platform I'm telling you about well before you leave. Because if you don't have the money thing figured out, as miserable as you may be on your job, don't leave yet. Let's talk about this before you decide to put in your resignation. Let's go ahead and get these steps started first. Let's go ahead and get these steps started. Let's go ahead and get this little oil jar filled. And then you are free to go once you see your legacy wealth moving in the right direction. All right. So you need the little oil jar. And then get into the Cura Circle, right? Here's how you step out on faith. Here's how you step out on faith. You join the little oil party. And if you can't get the little oil jar yet, because you're not there yet financially, I got you covered too. I'm not leaving anybody behind. We all gonna eat, sis. We are all gonna eat. So when you click the link in the description and join the little oil party, you'll get inside the Cura Circle, and that's where the little oil lounge is. And inside the lounge, you will have the paper version. I'm not leaving you out. There's nothing better than the real version, but if you're not there yet, you will have the paper version for free. And you can take the paper version, the free version, bring it to the party with you. And I'll show you exactly what you need to do to build your platform. Why is staying on a job you hate, staying on a job you're miserable at, why is that doable now? Because you have a plan. Because you are going to use the 5 steps that I gave you. And as long as you have this plan and these 5 steps in your consciousness, in your heart, what bothered you on the job before is all of a sudden not bothering you now, because you know where you're headed. It's something about not being in desperation when you have a plan. As a matter of fact, the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. You need to know where you are going. You need to understand where you are headed. And if you're going to transition out, this is the best way to do it. Sis, don't leave your job yet until you do these 5 things. You need to, number 1, clarify your vision and calling. Where do you fit in the 3 Ps? Number 2, create your financial transitional plan. What do you need? Where was I? Hold on. Let me get this right. All right. What do you need to live your life? The exact number, get that figured out, and how much you make to cover that. And if you leave, how will you cover it? The best way to leave is to lower the amount that you need to live your life. So at least what you need, if you decide to leave, won't be as much. That gives you more mental space, more head space, more creativity space to actually do step 3, and that's build your platform. Step 3, you got to build your creator business. And that's what this girl is for. That's what I'm here to help you do. And we do that inside the Cura Circle community. Start with the little oil party. The easiest, the fastest, and the most economical way to start, because it's free. Start there, and we will build from there together. Get in a network like the Cura Circle. Do not do this by yourself. Do not do this alone. And then step out and take action. Step out and take action by putting these 5 steps to work. You can do it, sis. You can do it. When I left my teaching job the first time, I left because I wanted to fulfill my purpose. And that is, I knew that there was something more to me, through me, in me, for me, than just being a teacher. And I was really good at it. Like, I keep saying this, but it's true. I was runner-up teacher of the year before I left. So I was recognized for my valuable work, but I couldn't stay there. And if you're contemplating, should I leave, should I stay? If something is calling you out, you definitely need to consider what that is, but you can't leave blindly. Like, when I left the first time, I took about $15,000 out of my retirement to do it. Made so many ridiculous, crazy mistakes with the money. It was gone very quickly, right? But I left because I wanted to pursue what I was feeling, that purpose that was calling me. I ended up going back. And then I left the second time. When I left the second time, I left because I moved. I moved from Louisiana to Georgia. And when I entered the second time, I had a better plan. I knew that I knew I wasn't there to stay. I knew I was going to transition out. Did I do my good work there? Yes, even though I knew I was leaving, because I needed to do my work as unto the Lord. That's what was going to make me successful while I was there, even though I knew I was leaving. Right? And so after leaving the first time, and then leaving the second time to move, the third time when I left in 2023, I left for good. I didn't leave blindly. I had a plan, and I literally used and implemented the same steps that I'm giving you right now. And did it go bad? Yeah. And I know people don't want to say the truth. They want to say it's going to work. Just pay me $1 million and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, because they just want their coins. I'm telling you the truth. I had all these steps in place, but it still went bad because the money that I put aside to leave comfortably, a family member needed it. And so I had two options: keep my plan in place, keep my money to myself, and continue on the easy path that I was on with the money that I had, or help my family member. I chose help. And guess what? Even though even though I chose to give up the money that I had as my cushion, and choosing that made it challenging, and I suffered for that, it was worth it because I did what I was supposed to do, and that is help. And number two, God compensated. He helped me. He did for me what he did for the woman in 2 Kings 4. He replenished her oil. And now I'm seeing traction, and I'm growing, and people that are in my community are growing. The testimonies that I'm getting, oh my God, it was worth it. I'm not suffering. Am I a millionaire yet? Mm-mm. Do I have 1 million followers yet? Mm-mm. But I'm good, because the platform that I built, the products that I launched, are going to give me the legacy wealth that I left for. And so I didn't leave blindly the last time I left, and you can't or shouldn't or don't have to leave blindly now, because all you have to do is follow these steps. Now, here is what that looks like. Here is what that looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like, what your steps look like for you. So I'm going to share what it looks like inside the Cura Circle, where the Little Oil Party Lounge is. You're going to love it. So go ahead and click the link in the description. And if you're watching on the video podcast, you'll be able to see it. If you are not watching on the video podcast and you're listening to the podcast, I am sharing what it looks like inside the Little Oil Party, and I'll describe it to you. So inside there is the Little Oil Lounge, and in the lounge you have everything you need about the Little Oil Party, what it looks like, who's invited, what's the purpose, who should join, why should join. And then I have the activity that you need to create, the Little Oil Party activity. It's the Little Oil Jar. It is the paper version, the free version that you can grab to get and bring that to the party with you. As a matter of fact, I have a party tonight, and I have more coming up in the pipeline. But if you want to come tonight, go ahead and click the link in the description, and you still have time to come tonight, January 21st. But if you cannot come tonight, still join the Little Oil Party so that you can have access to all the Little Oil Party content and the jar and the dates that are upcoming so that you can join us. And then you'll notice here, I have the recap and the replay. And I love this part because I want to share with you what one of the Little Oil Party attendees had to say. She says, the Little Oil Party on December 3rd was amazing. Angela dropped some good nuggets and provided clarity to help us think differently. I've been writing my thoughts, ideas, and just envisioning all the possibilities that are ahead. Thank you, Angela, for pouring. I joined the circle and looking forward to the six-figure coach cohort. This person that I'm telling you about literally is already had her first client. Like, it's working, and it will work for you too. So join the party. You're going to be so very glad that you did. The link is in the description. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. The link is in the description. And you're more than welcome to get to where you need to be. To get where you need to be in your life, in your journey. So I am super excited to literally spend this quality time with you today. Step out on faith. That's step number 5. And the best way to do that is to join the party. The link is in the description. I am so super excited for you. The one thing that I want to do before we take off today, and I need to go ahead and go because I need to go ahead and get in the circle to teach my live clap, my six-figure cohort. There's an oil drop. And my all drop for today is the same one that I had last week. You need to do a weekly self-check-in. That is the key to being and staying on track. You're going to reverse engineer your plan. Whatever plan you have, reverse engineer it. Make sure you understand what is happening. A hard check-in every 7 days. Why? Why, Angela? Why do a hard check-in every 7 days? Here's why. Because if you don't, time will pass by, your days will pass by, and you will be like in a trance. Trouble, challenging times, hard times will put you in a trance because all you really want to do is numb the pain. And before you know it, all you're doing is just getting by, trying to survive your day. I'm telling you right now, that is nowhere to live. That is nowhere to live. And if you check in every 7 days to see, okay, what's going on with my life? What's happening? How far am I into achieving my goals? Do I have any traction? And be honest, upfront, and real with yourself. And if you don't see any traction, if you don't see any steps forward in actually achieving what you want to achieve, make a pivot, a real one. Make an adjustment. And start a path that will actually give you the traction that you need. Soft check-ins every 3 or 4 days, just to kind of check in with yourself, see where your balance of power is as you are managing and balancing your life. Yes, but every 7 days, sit down with your favorite beverage in a place, a park, or a room, or your garden, wherever you are, that you can have some quality time with yourself. Look at the goals that you want to achieve and do a checks and balances. Where am I? And literally make the adjustments. Make the written vision adjustments in your plan, your life plan on what you want to do the next 7 days and moving forward with your life. I am so super excited to share this quality time with you. It is Angela Tessino here. With the Little Oil Podcast. Little is much when God is in it. Let's pour in. Let's pour in and live the life you always dreamed about. Until next time, I will see you next Tuesday for the Little Oil Podcast. Bye for now.